If a kid see their parent doing something, they're going to basically follow it. And if they see their parents doing positive thing like playing basketball, football, and stuff, they're going to follow their parent. Then if it's a negative role model, then basically you either choose the life you want to choose. You could choose heaven or hell. That's what I can say.
This is one of my old streets I used to live on. This is North White Street. Notice now it has like a lot of fenced-in area now, but it was never like that when I grew up there. It was one big field. It used to be a really good quiet street, but then there's a lot of crime. You know, we had like a lot of homicides on this street not too long ago, and it was all like gang related.
Hey, this is John Flowers, WHBW, Hyde Park, Poughkeepsie, and the rest of the world. This is not our world, we're just living in it, you know.
The first guest is a gentleman by the name of Michael Wood, who is the founder of HYPE, H-Y-P-E, which is an acronym, and it means Helping Young People Excel. It's a community organization right here in Poughkeepsie. And Michael, welcome to WHBW.
Thanks for having me, and good morning to John. We got a 14 other basketball team right here in Poughkeepsie.
And they're all from the community?
Yes, they are.
How did they get involved with this?
Well, we've been doing basketball tournaments throughout the summer.
It's just so bad the kids in the community have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
That's why the program that you started right now is such a great program.
Basically, it's all like, you know, just showing them things of our own life experience, you know, through character development, you know, the social skills, and also we're helping them with their education too.
Once you start something like this in the community, you're going to get more and more kids want to get involved.
It's a cycle. He's going to be just like me, and I was just like him.
I do the math and SML. That's what I do to J-Lil. This one time, it was in HYPE. I had 58 points. I was on fire. And once I was on fire, they kept feeding me the ball, and shots were just falling down for me.
My best memory was when I actually made my first shot, and I was about to cry because I never actually played basketball in my life yet.
HYPE, well, it stands for Helping Young People Excel, and I think that's what it does because the people that usually come, some of them are in the streets, but I think when they play basketball for HYPE, it keeps them out of the streets. I joined HYPE because once I heard the word basketball, I was just anxious to start playing.
A lot of them are good kids. You know, we do still have a lot of good kids out there, you know, that want to make something of themselves. Once they get involved with HYPE, you know, the main thing is respect. And we all come together as a family, and it's a lot of fun. I work for Vassar College, do security there for about 5 years now. The job is been a great experience. I do it for myself, and I do it, you know, also as a pass on to my kids. I have 2 boys of my own, you know, a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old. And basically that's what gave me the whole idea with HYPE. Because like I said, I wanted to give them a sense of direction. If you fall off track, you know, there's situations you have to pay for consequences. Now it's changed. The crime rate is going up more. You know, people, I mean, you can't sleep with your doors open anymore. The younger generation itself is really making the wrong decisions.
Something like HYPE can never be a bad thing. Would I rather have my kid learning how to load his gun, shoot his gun, cook the crack, sell the crack, or learn the discipline it takes to be an athlete? No, I feel attached to the partnership because I would have wanted this for myself. Because that's what you have to do to make things work. to benefit your community in a society that's bent on ignoring the happenstances that devour our youth.
A lot of these kids are products of their environment. You know, they just can't break that vicious cycle of getting out of the inner city. I grew up in Westchester. I was raised in an upper middle class family, and I will say that if it wasn't for sports, I'd probably end up dead or in jail. And I was reading the local paper one day, and there was an article in there about hype, and it said, need volunteers, call this number, and I called this gentleman, Mike Wood, and said I'd be willing to help you out.
I worked in youth detention centers, and I kind of learned a lot from that.
It was very challenging for me to see how lucky I am, you know, just to be in a situation like similar to where they came from. They didn't have the support, and they kind of just went out on their own and did things that could have probably been prevented if they had someone like as a role model to stand behind them, to give them a little more direction.
Steve Pettigene, I met him through 5-Star Basketball Camp. He's got me involved in hype. It gives me the opportunity to go back into the neighborhood and give back to the kids. Well, way back when, mid-70s, growing up in the Bronx, the gangs had a big influence on everybody, but kind of found haven in the Madison Square Boys Club over on Hoe Avenue. Started hanging out there and learned how to play basketball, got to go on trips and things like that. It kind of made us busy, took us away from the gangs. Basketball is what basically kept me going and kept me out of trouble. It also got me a scholarship for 4 years to college.
Basketball and sports in general is a very good vehicle, obviously, for kids to get to college, to get the piece of paper, and become functional in society.
The failure in life is not to have choices. That's the most profound thing that happened to me. When people say, well, what changed you, Tree? How did you go from one side to the other? It was a choice. Once I knew I had a choice to be who I wanted to be, I chose the difference.
In Poughkeepsie, there's like a lot of peer pressure, and like a couple of times you'll walk home and you'll see people smoking and ask you, but my excuse usually is I'm an athlete, I don't do that, and basketball keeps me away from it.
Sometimes they actually try to break people's car windows, but every time they say that to me, I say no, and I just walk home, because I don't never want to get in trouble for doing that.
This one is football, this one's football, this one's basketball, this one is basketball, this one is football.
We feed him love. That's the secret. We give him a lot of love, and we tell him to love people and to love himself. Because the most important thing in life, if you can't love yourself, then you can't love anybody. You're not going to do anything. And we try to keep him with positive people. When we teach him, if he sees somebody negative doing the wrong things, then you just kind of walk away, and then you don't do that.
Coach Mike, he wanted me to be on his team because me and his son used to go against each other, and usually I'll win, but then he'll win some. So we just started being friends, and he just got me into hype. And he teaches me a lot of things that I never knew, and it helps me a lot when it's game time.